Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff White, Jeff White Fitness Solutions. Thanks for checking out this video today. And today I want to talk about history. And I must admit, I found this by mistake. I was going through my Facebook page, so I was looking for something, and I came across this quote, excuse me, and it really made me think because this is something we're going through right now as we speak. And I want to talk about this. It's so important we understand history and know history because history repeats itself all the time. So, have you ever heard this before? And it says, first it came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. And this is by Martin Niemöller. I can't pronounce his last name, so sorry. But I saw this. This was written a long time ago. And I got to thinking, we are living through this right now. But I don't think people really know. They are systematically going after groups of people one by one, systematically. And we are falling for the same games or same schemes again. So I want to talk about this. I'm going to break it down as to why I think this is happening all over again. So check this out. So again, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And this is Jeff White with Jeff White Fitness Solutions. And the fitness, people think it's just about physical fitness, but it's about physical, mental, spiritual, and financial fitness. And right now we are dealing with all of these at the same time. And it's critical that we work on all aspects of fitness. And this is just a very important topic. All right, so let's go. But before I get started, I just want to show you guys this. This is the post that I saw on Facebook. Now, if you notice, it says 2018. I posted this back in 2018, and you guys know it's 2023 right now. And this is a repost. This is a repost. I look back and I found that the first time I posted this quote was in 2017. That was 6 years ago. So my point is, I'm not just waking up to what's going on around us. I've been watching for a very long time. And I told you guys I was a financial advisor many, many years ago. So I've been following the economy and things of that nature for a long time too. And then I just kind of morphed into looking into gold and silver and following the world politics and world economy. So I've been looking at this stuff for a while now. So for a lot of people, this is new, but for me, I've been watching this for a minute, and it's getting more and more serious, and things are happening faster and faster. And I say that based on what I've seen over the years, but it's amazing to me how so many people are still asleep. People are waking up, but there a lot of people still asleep, and that's a major problem. So anyway, let's get started. All right, guys. So let's get started. Okay, so if you remember the poem, it was based on many decades ago. So now I'm going to update it or upgrade it to modern times. So first, they came after small businesses. So let's think back to 2020 and those lockdowns. What did they do? They made small businesses close. You could not be open. You had to be closed. Meanwhile, the big stores, the big box stores were able to stay open. So what happened? The small businesses suffered, and many of them closed down and never reopened. And then, even fast forward to today, you can see many of the small businesses that were around. They struggled, and some have even, gone under. They've gone out of business. So first, they came after small businesses. And that's just the first domino to fall. Now, if you think about it, small businesses, they they hire the majority of people. So that is where a lot of the employment comes from. So if you have small businesses close, that's a huge segment of the economy that is greatly impacted because they hire the majority of the people in the country. So let's continue. Okay, so up next on the hit list was small landlords because we had the rent moratorium because so many people weren't working because of the lockdown. So there was a freeze on rents. Now, unfortunately, this affected many small landlords because they still had to pay, the banks back. So, unfortunately, many small landlords, I don't have the statistics, but a lot of them had to sell their properties. And this is the part that bothers me. The media made it out as the landlords were really greedy, and there are some greedy landlords out there. But to paint it as all the landlords are greedy and people should just be able to live in their homes or apartments for free is not fair to the landlord. Now, mind you, I do understand people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling. That is not the landlord's fault, though. If they're going to have that moratorium, they should have applied it to their landlords as well, but they did not. So, my point is, they spun it so it's the landlord's fault. The landlord is being greedy. And again, there are some greedy landlords out there, but not all are greedy like that. Because I personally, I don't have any rental property, but I want rental property. But I want to have some good quality property that people can live in and grow families in. I even want to do some type of lease options in the future. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to having a plan to get into real estate and rental property. But the time will come for that. But my point is, they made it seem as though all landlords are greedy and all landlords are money hungry and all landlords are just looking out for a quick buck. That is how the media twists things and have you thinking good versus evil, good versus bad, and that is not right. So they came after the small landlords and no one defended them because guess what? You're not a small landlord, so you don't care. But here's the kicker though, these Wall Street investors are buying up single family homes and they're paying cash for these homes. They're doing that right now. There are many stories out there of people who found their dream home and they put down an offer, but just like that, the house was snatched up because someone paid cash for it. These are Wall Street firms who are buying up these homes. They're going to rent them out because guess what? You will own nothing and be happy. So you got to look at the big picture, people. Look at the big picture. Take your emotions out the equation and look at the entirety of this puzzle. Don't look at five pieces. Step back and look at all 5,000 pieces, and you'll see a really different story. But anyway, there's more. So check this out. So now we have small farmers. So then they came after the small farmers. And this is a major problem because I hear a lot of people are waking up now and they are paying attention to what's going on. But I don't really care how mad you are um, if you ain't got no food. You mad at the government and you ready to do something, but you ain't got no food in the house. So I don't know how effective you're going to be at being angry. And what good is being angry if the government owns all the farmland, or there is no farmland, or the only thing they're growing is crickets and other bugs and lab grown meat? So when people say they're waking up, what are you doing? Okay, you up now, you awake, you wide awake, you got the crust out your eyes. What are you doing? Besides talking about you're awake and you see what's going on and you're posting YouTube videos like I'm doing right now. No, but seriously, people say they're awake, they know what's going on, and they're angry and they want to write to their congressman or vote. What good is that going to do if farmers can't keep their land and they can't grow the food that you need to eat to sustain yourself to fight the power? So they came after the small farmers. They're doing that right now. You saw that with the Dutch farmers, and that story is just mind blowing, mind blowingly horrific. What's going on with that? And then here in the United States, and this isn't really talked about as much as it should be, but a lot of farmers are struggling. They can't keep up. And then we have the droughts. we have a lot of crops that are not yielding as much as they used to. And see, a lot of people don't see the damages or the dangers of this yet because there's a lag time with growing food, harvesting it, and it being on your store shelves. So a lot of people don't see that. And then you throw in the fact that many countries are not exporting food to other countries like they used to, and this is a problem that is going to devastate the world. It really is, and people are not paying attention. So again, look at the steps, look at the progression. They came after small businesses, they came after the landlords, they came after small farmers. Do you see how dangerous this is? And people are not looking at the big picture. This is just unbelievably bad. Okay, so who's next? The banks. The banks are next. Have you guys been paying attention to the bank closures around the United States as of late? I'm in America, but I'm sure it's going on in other countries too. But have you guys really been paying attention? There have been quite a few banks that have failed. There have been quite a few banks that have been bought out. There are quite a few banks that are closing branches all across the United States. And this is just a little bit. This is a snippet. And there was a meeting back, I believe it was in November, and I should have put the video on here where there was a Fed bank meeting, and they were talking about the people knew how bad it was. They would be putting the money out the banks. I should have put that video, but I just didn't feel like doing that. But anyway, if this is back in November, they said this. They said people knew how bad it was. They were pulling money out the banks. The banks are in serious trouble, and I have some theories on that. I believe they want to centralize the banks, so there are fewer and fewer banks out there. So you have to have your money in just a few select banks, and if you do that, then they have a greater control over your money. Not only that, if you want to get a loan, it will be that much harder because you cannot shop around to get a loan. So if you want to get a loan or get a car, a house, get your water heater fixed, get whatever, it's going to be that much harder to get credit, start a business, anything. And the harder it is for you to do that, the harder it is for you to own certain things. So again, they're coming after the banks, and I just see people posting about it, but I don't see people really talking about it. So again, I'm trying to paint the picture. Look at all these other things that have happened before they came after the banks, and look at how it's going to directly impact your life. All these things are connected, and they are devastating because they're taking each one at a time. And then the simple fact is there are so many distractions out there in the world that people just got too many things to look at. And we live in a society where after a week or even less than a week, there's a new story for you to hop on to get enraged about. And then just like that story's gone, then give you something else to worry about. Meanwhile, they are systematically closing banks, they are downgrading banks. People are just, we're getting hit left, right, center, uppercuts, haymakers, and people don't even realize it yet. But the banks are in serious trouble, people. Very serious trouble. Then you throw in the fact that we have the BRICS nations, and the dollar is in trouble because of the competition from BRICS, because other countries are not using the dollar as much as they used to, and we are in a world of hurt. How many people know what the BRICS are? Walk down the street and just casually ask someone, "Have you heard of the BRICS nations?" I would believe 90% of the people will have no idea what you're talking about, and that's sad. Okay, so now this is what's going on right now in real time. They are coming after certain people's bank accounts, and this is a dangerous one, and this is one that we have to watch very carefully and really prepare for. Um, I started seeing stories about this maybe I want to say 6, 7, 8 months ago. Actually, we can go back to the Canadian truckers. That is when I really noticed that wow, they are closing their bank accounts. They are freezing their bank accounts because they are protesting. And That I'm have to admit that kind of scared me. And the reason why is because they were just protesting and they went after the bank accounts, they froze their bank accounts, and people who contributed to their cause, their bank accounts were frozen. Now, mind you, I know this is in Canada, and people will say, well, that's Canada, that ain't got nothing to do with me over here. But you got to remember something, y'all. When we had these lockdowns and those mandatory, these things right here, that was worldwide. So you cannot tell me these countries are not meeting behind closed doors at these G7 meetings and these WEF meetings to talk about world events and what they can do working in unison. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this could be a problem for everyone in the future because if you do something they don't like, they can find a magical reason to close your account. They don't have to give you a reason to close your account. So here are just some examples that I just found within 5 minutes of searching on closing accounts. And this is a problem that people need to really pay attention to because most people only have one bank account. They have one bank, and all their money's in that one bank. They got that one job and that one bank account. What if you lose that one job? What if that one bank account gets shut down? You will be up the creek without a paddle. Very dangerous times, people. So, again, I want you to go back and think about all the things that have happened and what they went after, what they're doing now, and how it impacts you. These are very dangerous times we're living in, and people, they don't see it. They don't see it. Okay, y'all. So I hope that what I'm saying here is making sense and you can see the problems that we are facing. All these problems are huge by themselves, but when you add them all together, we have some serious issues um, in our country, in the world, and they will last us for a while. So here are some things that I think we can do to help ourselves. I'm not even upset about this, what they're doing. I've accepted it because I've been watching it for so long and I've been studying the patterns. What really upsets me is a lot of people just don't see it. And I gave up trying to talk to people face to face because I told some people and they kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And it's so frustrating because when something happens, the same people who looked at me like I was crazy will be asking me for help. That's just my personal opinion. And I'm not a farmer. I'm not a banker. I don't know what you expect me to do. I don't know how I can help you if I can't replenish my supply stuff. I need you to step up and you build a supply so we can work together. I don't need to be around people who have nothing and looking at me for help. I'm just keeping it real. And that's just not right. I want to be able to go to somebody and say, hey, what let's work together. Let's put our resources together so we can build something and find other people have resources too. I can't afford to be around someone who has nothing and say, please help me. And then when you don't help them, then they get mad and then they want to hurt you to get what you got. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real. Um, Very frustrating. That's the part that frustrates me. But as far as what they're doing, I've accepted it. And I believe the best thing you can do is become self sufficient and get out the system as much as you possibly can. And that's where the community comes in. So, anyway, there's some things we can do. The first thing you need to start doing is have money in several different banks, have several bank accounts. I think I told you guys I'm a writer, I have online courses, um, I have books, and all these different things are on separate accounts. So, for example, my online courses is in one account. The money I get from that, I use that to buy stuff. I just call it stuff, you know. So it's almost like I'm getting something for free because that's passive income. All right. Next thing you want to do is get physical gold and silver because, as I alluded to before, not only the bank's in trouble, but the dollar's in trouble. these BRICS nations are moving away from using the dollar will continue to decrease in demand, which means it will decrease in value, which means things will get more and more expensive. And here's another thing too. If it's harder to get a bank loan, they make it a lot more difficult to get a bank loan, and the dollar is decreasing in value, then that means you're going to need even more money to put down for a down payment. That's where gold and silver comes in. You can use that gold and silver, you can convert it to whatever currency you need, and then you can use that money you receive from the gold and silver to put down a down payment on some type of investments, some type of asset, some type of rental property. You got to have a strategy for what's going on, because it's coming whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not. It's coming. Next, you got to have multiple income streams. You got to have money coming from several places. I think I told you guys in a video, a past video, that I'm a ghostwriter, and I recently lost one of my clients, a client I had for 3 years. There was a real estate investor, and I wrote blogs for him. I got paid to write them, but it was his name on them. And I don't care about having my name on the article. I want my name on the check. That's what my name needs to be. Anyway, I lost that guy, and that's just a passive income stream that's gone, and I have to replace it. So it's not just my one income stream, I have multiple. But my point is, if you lose your income source, what are you going to do? You got to have others to either pick up the slack, or you got to be able to replace it quickly. All right. Next, you got to stock up on food and plant a garden. You got to have food, people. You got to have food. There's talk about prices of food going up even more in 2024. And as I told you, there are droughts out there. There are countries out there saying that they're going to stop exporting certain foods. We could see a major problem in our food supply in the next 6 months or so. We're already seeing it now, because you see some empty pockets in the stores, and you're also seeing prices go up. That is a problem. So you can even say, well, I see food in the store, but is your prices going up? If the prices are going up, then you need to pay attention to that. So you got to stock up on food. You got to start planting a garden. Plant something. I was in Walmart the other day, and they had banana trees in there. Banana, and they were small. Can you imagine if you can grow your own bananas? I mean, think about it. There's little things that you can start doing right now that can help you tremendously. Okay, next, and I just kind of said this, but you got to show support to others. People who are willing to listen, though, that's the problem. If they are concerned, talk to them, see what they know, see what they can handle, and help them understand what's going on in the real world. We have to. Next, get various forms of security. Now, this is a big one, because security is going to be huge in the future. You got to be able to protect yourself and protect what you have and protect your family. So, of course, a lot of people are big on the projectiles, and I am too. I am too. But you know what? There are other things you can have also, because you may not feel comfortable having projectiles just laying around the house. And you may have that projectile in a safe or in a locked drawer. But if something happens quickly, you may not have time to get to that locked drawer. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can have that may benefit you, um, that can anybody in the family can use in at any given time. Okay, so this is a stun gun. It's a stun gun, and you can see the flashlight on here. You can have a stun gun. Whoops, you heard that? You can have a stun gun in practically every room in the house. You can have one by the door, by windows, wherever you are, in the bathroom. You can have these things pretty much everywhere in the house. So, just something to think about, people. Get you a stun gun. Yeah, get your stun gun. All right. Next, consider having knives. This video will probably get flagged, but we're talking self-defense. Um, have some of these. Get several of these, several different sizes. Have them in different areas of the house. You never know, you might need it. Hopefully you don't, but you might. Another one to consider getting is pepper spray. You can have these everywhere. You can have them by every door, every window. You want to be able to just grab something quick. So if someone is coming in your house and you can't reach your projectile, you can have some of this. Here's another one. This is a little noise maker. Not only does it have a flashlight on it, it's loud. So if you hear someone noise outside of your house, you can do this that might scare them. Or if it's in the middle of the night, you hear people in your house, unplug it and throw it at them. They might scare the crap out of them, make them run out of your house. Anything, little things like that. And then you have, let's just say someone is coming into your house and you see their arm trying to reach through your door and they're trying to reach, or they broke a window trying to get in and you can't get your projectile. What if you had one of these? What if you had one of these bad boys? You had one of these, they will be leaving minus something. Or they stick their big head in your window, they might regret that if you have one of these. So there are a lot of different things you can do. So again, projectiles are the number one option, but not everyone can have a projectile just laying around the house. So have other things out there that you can use, that you can reach quickly. Because see, I have all this stuff and I can reach it quick because I have them all over my house. So don't come in here. Don't come in here. You might regret it. And I have options. I have multiple ways to make you regret it. So, and then lastly, people, keep a low profile. I've slowed down on my videos because I just am just focused on myself. Unfortunately, Big Brother is watching, and they will use what you say against you. So, and I understand that this video here could be used against me. I totally understand that, but I don't get a lot of views. So it doesn't really matter. Um, but they're going to come after people anyway. So what you want to do is you want to be as self-sufficient as you can. So yeah, they can come after you, but if you growing your own food and you stocked up, you're okay. If you have multiple streams of income and passive income, if you have money in say trusts and small businesses and LLCs, that could help you. That could help you. So if you have physical gold and silver and they try to, get you fired or someone tries to cancel you, that gold and silver can help you get through. So do what you got to do, people, but pay attention to the signs because this stuff is not a joke. So let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment. I know this video is a little long. I apologize, but this is some very important stuff that people really need to pay attention to. So you guys have a great day, but let's talk about it and tell me what you think. What do you see? Because I think things are only going to get worse from here. All right, guys, take care.